scout on the lightly broke calves. So this is the second video, kind of a part two of the other one that I did. In the first part, I was kind of talking more about how to gentle your calves down, get them in a small area or a small-ish area, and kind of send the dog to the heads, get the calves to turn off the dog, and then release the pressure, and then again send the dog to the heads. In this video, I'll focus a little bit more on how to teach her how to get through the fence, between the fence and the calves, so she can pull them off to fetch them to you. You really can't do this until your calves are pretty gentle, they're moving off the dog well, and they're not at a dead run whenever you get started. So I'm going to bring her into the pen. I'm just going to down her. The logical way for her to go in this scenario where I've got her set up is that very first arrow, which would have been the away direction, but I'm not going to send her that way. And that's just mainly because I want to know that she's listening right off the bat, so I'm not going to send her directly to the calves. I'm going to send her around me. So they're down when she gets to the corner and they all start to move off of her. And you can see that they're moving pretty slow, so they're used to her. They kind of know the game now. They're thinking, as long as I move away from this dog, she's going to leave me alone. So then I send her again to the heads, and there's an arrow here that shows I want her to go all the way into that corner. She slows up a little bit and then checks up and goes into the corner. Then I'm going to down her. I did have to give her a little bit of a correction to get her to go all the way down. So do not accept a sit. A down is the only acceptable answer when you have told her to down. What I'm going to do here is try to send her through. There's a lot of pressure, so I'm going to put myself at her shoulder and walk into her. See how she kind of popped out? She's not along the fence, so I need to push her back towards the fence using my body pressure and send her through. They're down. So once they've come off the fence, even just a little bit, they're not going to fetch to you right away. You need to relieve the pressure off of the cattle. So I've got one heifer here that's about to start giving her a little trouble, so I'm going to put her on the head of that one. Come by. There. She needed to turn in on that one and really handle that pressure. So see how she's kind of dodging out? That's what's going to cause this heifer to keep challenging her. So I tell her there, push up, push up. So she gets a little something in, a little rush. I don't think she really bit there, but as soon as that heifer turns off of her, I tell her to down. So take the pressure off the cattle once the dog gets the result. I'm going to send her all the way around here. I'm mainly trying not to single this heifer out, so if I see her separated from the group, I'm going to try to send, I'm sending Scout to put her back, and as long as she's way off of her on the back side, it looks like she's going to want to group back up with her friends. And this time what I'm going to do is send her all the way around, not on the single, but send her on the group. So push them back towards her. They're down. Or there stand, I don't know if I said down, and then come by to put them all back together. So once she's got them all back together, there, and I'm just trying to work her kind of with the group, but also by herself too. If I see her split off, I'm going to direct Scout to cover that if she doesn't do it on her own. So I've told her there, she's holding them to me, this is a fetch, she's on balance, this is perfect. She pushes a little hard and two of them leave, so I direct her back to where she needs to be. And right here I'm going to try to send her all the way around in the direction she doesn't want to go. So she sees the cows are leaving and she's trying to cover that, but that's not what I asked her to do. So I'm going to say no, When she downs, I can redirect her. So I'm trying to step through the cows here, but they don't want to move because the dog is blocking them. So I'm going to call her here, here, as soon as she's got a direct line of sight to me. Call her here, here, and come by, and then I'm going to send her all the way around while she's up and moving free. So come by, and then here, here, as soon as she's got that direct line of sight to me. So she needed to walk in on that little white face one that was looking at her, but the one, it went ahead and turned off anyway, and then it was too late for Scout to walk up, so then I had to send her away. So I put her back on the head of this one that's wanting to challenge her. Push up, down. So she just goes way out of that pressure, but that's okay. I could redirect her back. So she does need to bite and then immediately down to relieve that pressure. And then she's got the cattle to me.